What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua has said this about Tyson Fury. He calls Tyson Fury a warm-up act. Wow. Okay. Speaking on JD Sports Road to Undisputed blog, Joshua revealed that he is more than happy for Fury to take center stage in front of the world's media. And he said this quote, he said, he, which is Fury, can bring whatever he wants. It don't matter to me. Instead, insisted Joshua. The press conference antics, the fight antics, the hands behind the back. I love that stuff. That's all a part of who you know. And you know that it's his job. But my job is to close the show. The 31-year-old Londoner then went on to dismiss the unbeaten Fury as little more than a warm-up act. He said he's in a warm-up act. He's there to do all that stuff, but ultimately my job is to close the show, and that's what matters. Now, wait, there's more. He says, that's why I know I will get past this fight, because I'm looking past him. I want more. This isn't where this stops. The fight, God willing, will be this year. I'm saying it is going to be this year. I'm saying that I'm going to speak it into existence, and I will be victorious. Those are the words of Anthony Joshua. Let me counterpunch. I think Anthony Joshua was preparing himself and letting everyone know that, hey, I'm ready for whatever may come that Tyson Fury may throw at me. Okay. His job is to be a clown, basically. His job is to entertain, basically. His job is to take center stage, basically. But at the end of the day, I'm the guy that's going to get it done because I'm looking through, or should I say past, he said, that's the words he used, past Tyson Fury, and this doesn't stop right here. This is just another job, and he is a warm-up act. I think that Joshua is very confident, no doubt about it. He's very confident, and he thinks that because Tyson Fury does these antics and he does take center stage, that he is not the threat that people think he is. I would disagree. I think that Joshua should look at this fight as one of the most important fights that he'll ever be in. Why? Because it's the very next fight. Not what happens past Fury, not what happens in the rematch of Fury, but what happens in the first fight with Fury. Getting the first fight done with Fury so we can have that first fight. If there's any possible thing that's a hang-up in this particular situation, which we haven't heard that it isn't, let's have the fight and focus on what's in front of you. I remember Anthony Joshua before he fought Andy Ruiz. I remember him wanting to sit down with Deontay Wilder. I remember him wanting to fight Ortiz. I remember him wanting to fight Jarrell Miller, which that fell through. I remember him wanting another rematch with Dillian White. And what eventually happened with all that on his plate? He went in there at Madison Square Garden in June of 2019, and he was stopped in 7 rounds by a little-known Andy Ruiz. The only person that really knew Andy Ruiz was Manny Robles, which was his trainer, and Joseph Parker, because Joseph Parker scaved a victory from him. Okay. And that let me and convinced me that when in there, it doesn't matter how strong or how good you are as a fighter, but if you're not focused, being that good fighter, being that talented fighter, you can and you will be beaten at some point. So again, if Joshua is looking at Tyson Fury as a warm-up, now I know how things could vary, but I mean, we speak the same language, right? So a warm-up to me means a person that, hey, I'm just getting started with this guy. This guy isn't really important as people think he is. That's what I take that response as. Warm up. If you got a warm up, that's just like a tune up. A warm up is equivalent of a tune up to me. That's what I think about. And Joshua just saying, hey, I'm here to close the show. I'm speaking it into existence. I'm speaking it, believe it, and receiving it to this day. Right. And And he said, I will be victorious. Okay, that's great. But at the end of the day, looking past the fighter is exactly what he did with Andy Ruiz, and I wouldn't go there anymore in my career. I think he should focus on Tyson Fury, which I believe that he is. But saying, when you hear him saying stuff like this, really makes me believe that there's something else that's on his mind besides Tyson Fury. So you can think so much about legacy and forget how you got or how you obtained your legacy. You can be looking up the stairs and not taking the proper steps to get up to where you're trying to go. Okay? And I think he should take every step cautiously. And I feel that he should really take time to, maybe this is trash talk, because it surprised me to hear him say that. But I think taking these steps to where he needs to go, I think he needs to take each step cautiously and effectively. That's the word, effectively. And knowing what we know about two fighters, they rise to the occasion. Okay. But I think this is the first time Joshua will be in there with a guy, not an undefeated guy, but in there with a guy that has the mentality of someone like Tyson Fury, that refuses to lose, that refuses to, he refuses to for someone to be better than him in certain situations. It's one of those things, you just have to see it. Okay. So I think Anthony Joshua saying, hey, I'm looking past Tyson Fury, I think that's a very, very dangerous statement to make, especially if he's having that on his mind, unless it's not mind games, because it could be. Tyson Fury said, I don't even think the fight's going to happen. So he makes him think that, I haven't been in training. So, most people lose when they're inactive. So I haven't had a fight. Mind games. Maybe Anthony Joshua's talking his own mind games, saying that he's not worried about the fight, and he really is. However, I don't know if it's true or not, but what I can tell you is I hope that's what that is, because if he's looking past his opponent and he has the focus that he had with Andy Ruiz, and he has the same amount of focus that he had with Andy Ruiz the first fight, it's going to be a bad night for Joshua. Now that is that. But you guys tell me what you think about Anthony Joshua's statements towards Tyson, the Gypsy King Fury. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.